Hey guys, it's Jonathan from Marshall Custom Models. Well, I wanted to start a new video series. I've had a lot of requests from people on painting, specifically the Aztecing on the refit. And so I'm going to do my videos a little bit differently this time around. I want to try something new. But on this one, I'm going to do a tutorial on Aztecing the refit. Exactly what I use, how I use it, all that kind of information. So what I'm going to do right now is I am going to reposition the camera, and I'm going to show you the exact materials that I use and how I mix them. So this might be a little bit of a longer video, but it should give you all the information you may need to mix your own pearls and to eventually start painting the Enterprise. Alright guys, one moment, I'll reposition. Okay guys, so here are the resources that I use to make my pearl pigments. So the powder specifically, I purchased this from McKenzie Taxidermy. I'll have a link for all of these parts in the comments below. But I get their shimmering gold 442, their shimmering blue 440, shimmering green, it's covered up, and then their shimmering red. Again, I'll have all these in the description below. These are the powders that I use, and then I use these bottles. These are high density polypropylene, and they are known as 2-ounce Boston Round bottles. I will also have these in the link below. I get these from a distributor here in town called Industrial Container Supply. They ship all over, and these are the lids that go with them. Now these lids are not necessarily designed for these bottles, but I really like them because they fit nice and snug, and they've got this little polypropylene cone on the inside that helps out quite a bit. Then this is the gloss clear that I use. It's Duplicolor gloss clear coat, and it's a ready to spray lacquer. So this is a single stage lacquer paint. I get these from O'Reilly Auto Parts. This one bottle, this pint, lasts me quite a while. Oh, no, I apologize, the quart lasts me quite a while. I'm actually almost out of it. I gotta get more. So with that, I use one of these two reducers. So they're both for enamels, but they will work with the lacquer. This 5-star Extreme and Medium Enamel Reducer, or this Omni MR186 Medium Reducer. I would probably recommend the Omni simply because this 5-star, though very good, is becoming harder to find. Whereas Omni, you can actually order this in from O'Reilly's or a few other locations. But this type of reducer you want is dictated, so this says medium, is dictated on where you are. I chose the medium reducer because I tend to be in a slightly colder environment, and I want to make sure that it has the time to cure properly. Or you can get a fast reducer, which is a faster flash rate, or you can get an even slower reducer. Alright, so this is the stuff I use, and now I'm going to show you how I mix it. So you have 4 colors because you have your red, green, blue, and gold. And you have to dilute this stuff quite a bit. So when I add this gloss clear coat, I'm going to dilute it 1 part gloss, 3 parts enamel reducer. So it's heavily thinned out, but that's something that you're going to have to do for a lot of these parts. And then this is a little measuring spoon that I use. I use it just because I have it. This is seriously the name. It's a smidgen of pigment. I usually use 2, maybe 3 of these for a 2-ounce bottle. Far more than any ratio calls for, but because of the scale we're dealing with, we need that much. All right, I will start mixing these and show you guys how to do it. The first thing I'm doing here is putting a mark on the bottle. I need to make sure I get the correct ratio of 1 to 3, so I get the mix right. And that's what I do. I just go through with a ruler. I do a rough estimate. It doesn't have to be precise, but you do want to get within a certain amount. So I go through, I mark every single bottle, and I poured the lacquer into a little 4-ounce bottle just to make it a little easier to pour, as I don't have a funnel. And then once that's done, the next step is start adding the reducer. I'm using the 5-star mainly just to get rid of it, so I can go to the Omni. I filled a little 4-ounce too full, so I had to use my little pipette to
transferred over to what spill. I'll have those down in the a link for those down below. Now, once it has all been mixed correctly, it is now time to add the pearl. As you can see, I'm wearing gloves. As the pearl, it's pretty messy stuff. I don't like getting it on my hands just because it tends to stay. But as you can see, I am cleaning the little smidgen measuring spoon after every single mix, because that pearl, I don't want to contaminate it. I don't want any blue in the red in the gold and whatnot. So that's why I always do that. I'm adding a BB in after every single time just to act as the agitator, make it a little easier to mix. And as you can see right here, I'm adding a little bit more red, as red can be a little bit duller than all the other colors, so I just a little bit more of that.
All right, guys, and that is basically all I do. Now, once it's all in the bottle, it does settle out, but that's why I put a BB in there. It just makes it a lot easier. You might be able to hear it. It's just an agitator. That's all it is. And I just have a box of them there. Oh, steel BBs. I don't know. I bought them at Walmart. They're really cheap. 2,400 of them, so they last a long time. Now, what I'm doing with this lacquer, this stuff does stink. When I opened up that Duplicolor bottle, what is that? This Duplicolor bottle, it stank quite a bit. When you thin it down, it's not that bad. But I'm just letting you know, with it being a lacquer, it does stink. So if you're going to be in certain places like a small room, then you're probably going to want to have some kind of ventilation or a mask on. In my studio, depending on the size of area I'm spraying, if it's just a little section, it doesn't matter. But if I'm doing a large portion, say with the blue, which is most of the chip, then I wear a mask and I have a vent going with that. There are other products you can use, acrylics, other water-based that you don't have to have a mask. This is what I use because this is what I had at the beginning. This is what I learned to do the ratios on, and I know how to use it, and I don't want to learn a new product. Even though I've seen a lot of guys use acrylics, they look great. But I just stick with the lacquers. It's easy to get. You can get them at any automotive store, easy to mix. These bottles are a little bit more expensive, but they're worth every penny because they're clear, they withstand, they're reducers. These will hold lacquer thinner, this high density polypropylene. It's really good stuff. So that's what I've got so far. If you guys have any questions, please respond in the comments below. I'm more than happy to help out. This is not the only process by any means. This is simply my process, the one that I use. All right, so that's the first step in the video, is mixing my pearls. Now, a little 2-ounce bottle, I actually have 8-ounce bottles, which I'll put those in the link below as well. I use 8-ounce bottles because I tend to go through pearl, because I have a combination of spraying a couple times, sanding, because I want a real bold luster. And to get that, especially on the size of the model, normally with pearl paints, less is more. So on a large surface, say a car, you want to put less pearl down because it goes a much longer way. Whereas on a smaller model like this, actually you need more to get any kind of pop out of it whatsoever. So I tend to go through my pearl. That's another reason the lacquer works great for me, because I have it in such a large quantity. So the next video I will be showing, I'll start the Aztecing process. I'll be using a combination of a few things. I have a couple orbital dry dock masks I'm going to use, but then I've got some new masks coming in by the mask guy that it's a new 1/350 refit mask kit. I really like it because it has more of the color masks, not just for the pearl, but I'll show you guys that when it comes in. All right, guys, well, stay tuned. If you have any questions, please comment down below. If this is your first time to the channel, I hope you enjoy this new series. Please go look at my other videos as I have some more time lapse. And yeah, hope to see you guys here soon.